On my channel, I like to share just straight tips, things that are going to help you, that you can go through a list, pull the items that are impactful to you, and maybe implement those to hopefully save some more, spend less. You won't find theatrics on my channel, dramatic B-rolls or illustrations. Why? Because I just don't have time for that. Like many of you, I work full-time. Like some of you, I'm also a mother. So in my spare time is when I do these YouTube videos, and it does take time to prepare, edit, film them first, edit them, and then upload them. So in my videos, we go straight to the tips without any of the theatrics. If you want to support my channel, I greatly appreciate it. Some ways you can do that completely for free are to hit the subscribe button. You can hit the like button if you enjoy the video. You can also comment down below. In this video, I'm strictly going to talk about tips that are fall, winter, themed money saving tips, the tips that are really impactful at the colder times of the year. Now, if you're any of my people on the other side of the world, you know that summer's coming up for you, but maybe you can remember these tips for when winter does come back around. So without further ado, let's just get into the tips. Number one, this is one of my favorites for this time of the year. This is when it's so much more appropriate to make those soups, those stews, and those chilies. So add many of these into your weekly planning for your meals, what you're going to cook. The best thing about them, they make you feel warm inside. They are hearty, but they are also cheap. You can make them using scraps that are leftovers to help reduce waste. You can also freeze them super easily, and they can make a ton of food. You can set it and forget it in a crock pot, and you can have leftovers for days. Freeze them in smaller portions, that way you can pull them out throughout the fall and the winter. Soups, stews, chilies, let me know down below, what are some of your favorite recipes that you make in the wintertime that are along this idea of soups and stews and chilies. We have a great chili recipe that we love that's super enjoyable. Put some cheddar cheese on top. I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. Number two, a lot of people spend a lot more money during the fall and the winter time because they're bored. They also waste a lot more time. Think about it. If it's too cold for you to go outside, you may just decide to stay inside. And one of those entertaining things that you might be doing is scrolling around, shopping, spending your time scrolling social media, which is a waste of time. So I recommend getting in your household some things, some productive, some fun, some enjoyable things that aren't going to cost a lot, that you can do when you are bored, when that snowstorm does come in, when it's raining like crazy outside and you can't get out. So hobbies, so things that you've been thinking about trying, maybe go and find some discounted hobby items that you can pick up and watch some YouTube videos this winter to learn how to crochet or knit. You can also just get any kind of games for your family. That way you can enjoy time together. One of our favorite new things that we've picked up is puzzles. We are obsessed with a puzzle. Our dining room table is full of a puzzle pretty much 24/7. And so we are now having dinner at our countertop, which is fine. There's only 3 of us. We still enjoy our dinners together as a family. But then afterwards, or whenever we kind of, stressful day, you want to kind of not think about anything, where most people will go and sit on the couch and just mindlessly watch TV. We will go and sit at a puzzle, put a puzzle together, and it is amazing how it helps you to not think, and completely unwind and unload the stress of the day. So think about some things that you could bring into your household that could help during those times when you can't get out, to keep you from doing things that cost money when you're bored. Did you know that you can save about 10% on your heating bill just by adjusting your thermostat? This is number 3. And you don't even have to have it uncomfortable when you're at home. Some of the best times to lower that temperature, because you don't have to heat it up as much, are when you're not at home. I know for us, 4 days a week, we're gone for about 9 to 10 hours a day. Or even during the night when you're warm and cozy in your bed, and it's been proven that it helps you to sleep better if the temperature in your room is cooler. Lowering those temperatures, starting at degree, 2 degrees, 3 degrees maybe, and saving that 10% on your heating bill. A great way to easily do this, where you don't have to think about it, is investing in a smart thermostat. That can be a great item that you can buy that can be an expense you pay upfront but saves you in the long run. Number 4. Now, I talked in number 2 about not scrolling mindlessly and spending time shopping online when you don't really need anything. But if you're out looking for either holiday gift ideas or trying to replenish a winter or even a summer wardrobe or needing certain items, this is the best time to find amazing deals. Why? Because if there's the retailers out there, people aren't getting out as much, people aren't out shopping, those online deals are going to be really, really good. I enjoy online shopping now. Why is that? Well, I can easily sort by specifically what I'm looking for. One, I don't have to go through and only get the options that are at a particular store. Two, I can Google that item and see which store has the best price on it. And 3, I can research that item as far as the reviews to see if it is a great deal. Many retailers offer a lot of great deals during those fall and those winter months. So if there's something that you're looking to pick up, maybe start checking around this time of year. Number 5. Now, while you might find some great deals, make sure, this is a great reminder, that it is something you do need or that you really want and it is within your budget. So many people can get caught up in the trap of winter. Now, let me know down below, are you more of love dressing for the fall, winter, or you love dressing for the spring, summer? I am a fall, winter kind of gal. I really enjoy dressing for fall, winter way more than spring and summer. Let me know down in the comments. But one of the things about fall, winter, especially if you're like me and you really enjoy dressing for fall, winter over the other seasons, is that there's so many cute, cozy clothing ideas and boots for the winter that are out. But just think about it. Do you really need another new coat? Do you really need another new scarf? Do you need another pair of boots? I mean, you might. Maybe your pair of boots isn't doing well from last year, but maybe it is. Do you really even wear those winter items that much? I know for me, we are in the Carolinas. Most of the time, we walk from a 72-degree home to a 72-degree car, and then maybe a 100 or 200-foot walk to a 70-degree office building or grocery store or whatever you have. And there's very little time when we actually need all of this fun, super warm, cozy winter wear. We really don't need that many layers here. Maybe you live in a part of the country where you do, but just think about if you do, how many of those items do you actually need? Talking about activities that are fun during the winter when you can't get out, you still want to have something that's memorable. This is one of my favorite things, and I also really like it when the time changes and it gets dark earlier. So family movie night is number 7, a great way for entertainment during the fall, winter months because you can watch all of the fun holiday movies, turn the lights off, sun goes down earlier, make a nice meal beforehand, and then maybe have dessert or some candy and some hot chocolate. Make it like a movie theater, a fun night for cheap. I really enjoy a fun movie night. You can get all the yummy goodies and enjoy that with your family. Number 8 is one that I do any time of the year because I enjoy it and it's just something I do. Before I go to bed, if you think this is weird, okay, maybe it is, I have a heating pad. And this is the thing that keeps me warm. Now, I also want to tell you, I work in an office where it's very cold. And if you've ever been in an office environment, you can't have those little space heaters. They think they're dangerous, and they also, if you have them plugged up everywhere because everybody's cold, they often, the electricity breaker can't handle it. It's too much power. So to keep warm, I have a heating pad on the back of my chair, and it helps me stay warm and cozy when everybody else is freezing in the office. Well, I do the same thing in my bed at night. So if I'm getting ready for bed and I'm reading my book, I have a heating pad in my bed because when you first get in, it's super cold, and especially if you've turned that temperature down, then it's extra cold. The great thing about it is while I'm spending time getting cozy and ready for a good night's sleep, that heating pad warms me up. I'm reading my good book, and then so when I go to bed, it leaves that bed a warm, nice feeling and cozy and ready for me to crawl in for a good night's sleep. Number 9 is something you need to do now around your house. You want to make sure that the bought air, the heat, I call it bought air, that you're buying where it's warm in your house isn't leaking out. Okay, so it could be leaking out of a drafty window. It could be leaking out from underneath a door. Caulking around things does break down. And then also the weather stripping around a door does break down over time. So you need to go through your house and is there any caulking? Is there any separation between the windowsill and the window that's letting that air that you're paying a premium amount to have heating your house that's completely slipping out unnecessarily? And get those things repaired now. Number 10, during the day, you can help warm up your house so you can lower that thermostat temperature. You can help warm up your house by opening your blinds. Not only does this help heat up your house, but it helps your mood, especially during the winter blues when you can't get out as much and get that vitamin D. So open up the blinds, have it come in, have God's light bulb help lighten your mood and heat up your home. Number 11 is something we have been doing for years, ever since we had a situation where our air conditioning went out when I was pregnant and it was super hot outside. And it is having our HVAC system maintained once a season. So, well, twice a year, once for every air conditioning or heat. So we have somebody come out, do all of the necessary maintenance, make sure everything's working properly. So many people neglect these things. We did as well. That air conditioning problem happened because nobody had ever touched the thing for like 8-9 years. You want to be able to take these things that are super expensive and make sure they're working at their optimum capacity. Treat it like you would your car. Now, I know someone who's had a situation with a vehicle where they had a check engine light and it was on for months and did nothing. Well, what happened? The repair that was probably a lot less expensive got really, really bad and was going to cost them a lot more to repair that car, almost as much as it was worth, because they did not maintain the vehicle when the vehicle said, hey, I'm just telling you, something's off here, and it needed to have some maintenance. So let's help maintain those things by spending a little bit more upfront to take care of them. Number 12 is one that goes along with number 11, and it is replacing those air filters. This is super important. First of all, the air coming through your house. You want it not to be coming through in dusty, all kinds of stuff in that is caught within a filter. You want it to come through a nice clean filter. It also helps the system overall. One way to always remember this is to use a calendar or a app calendar, and on the same day, if you replace it monthly, if you replace it, you've got those that you can replace every 3 months, even if you're in a rental. So sometimes when you're in a rental, the maintenance people will come out and replace that for you, but you probably have to call them to have them do it. Put it on a reminder on your calendar app every month or 3 months, however often it is recommended that you replace your filter, and have it done on that. So every single 27th of the month is the day that we replace our filters, and have been doing so for years. Number 13 is if you have ceiling fans, there is a little switch on the base of the ceiling fan above the blades that you can switch down during the winter months. What this does is it reverses the direction that the blades spin, and it helps push, again, that purchased hot air back down, because hot air rises and that fan helps push it back down if you have it going in the other direction. So once the temperatures start to turn near you, check to see if your fan, most of the newer ones do, and you can flip that switch and turn that fan on to help lower that heat. Number 14 is if you were decorating for the holidays, put them on a timer. So many people let their holiday lights stay on, sometimes 24 hours, sometimes all night long. We have a couple of those lit up trees, I think 4-foot trees that we put by our front door. Well, we don't keep them on for very long. We keep them on from the time it gets dark till about when most people are already in their house, if you want for your neighbors to be able to see the beautiful holiday lights at that time of the year. So we have a timer that we utilize, and we put it in with those plugs, and it stays on from I think like 5 o'clock till 9 o'clock, whereas it does not need to be on all night long. Save that electricity. You can also find so many holiday lights, if you're going to have them now, that are LED. There are some that are solar operated, but timers are a great way to not have that extra energy going out when it doesn't need to. Number 15 is real easy. Put some clothes on. Sometimes people just, they'd rather be comfortable and just turn down the heat, turn up the heat, whatever it is, rather than putting on a few more layers and getting comfortable. This is super simple and can really help you again with those huge utility bills, which we have seen a significant, I don't know if you have, let me know down below. Have you seen a significant increase in your utility bills over the last couple of years? I have. One way to keep that on is definitely just to put more clothes on. We can definitely do that in the wintertime. Number 16 is to have more blankets readily available around your home where people lounge. This is one of my favorite things if you want to get somebody as well. A cozy blanket as a gift for a holiday is fantastic, and you can find some really great deals on them. But to have blankets, that way if you're chilling, you're relaxing, you're not moving around, so your blood's not pumping. I mean, if you're out doing, if you're cooking dinner or you're doing laundry, your blood's moving, you're not as cold as when you're just sitting, hanging out on the couch, watching TV, or just chatting with friends. Having a few blankets around, that way you can stay warm. You don't have to go over and, tap that thermostat to pump it up just a little bit because you're a little chilly. Number 17 kind of goes back to the very beginning where we talked about not being bored. One of the best things you can do during the fall, winter, when it's too cold outside, is use that time inside to clean out your home, to get rid of the things that you don't want, need, or like. This is an awesome time too because you might find something that you have that you can actually resell, and you can see if you can bring in some extra money during this time. So take some time. If you're bored, you don't have much to do, you've got a weekend where you're at home, maybe alone, or just extra time, clean out the house. Go room by room, which is one of my favorite ways to declutter, deep clean the things that you need to. Use that time productively. Number 18, the winter time is the best time to do a no spend challenge, especially January or February. You can do a no spend challenge and really squeeze out a lot of money saved if you decide to do it. Now, you might decide to do a full month, which can really help you amplify that savings. I can tell you when we did pay off our mortgage the last month right beforehand, we really just went completely no spend at that point. We were like, we need everything left to put towards this final push to get this thing gone. So you can do this in January, February, which is a great time because usually you're not out buying a lot of things because all that, you're over it. You've consumed enough from the holiday season. So January, February, you're like, I'm not really in the mood to buy anything anyway. The spring things aren't really out yet. You have enough of your winter things. So just dabble in it a bit. Maybe do a no spend January as a way to kick off a great year of saving in 2025. Number 19, if you live in a home where you have radiators or floor vents, make sure that you do not have any furniture blocking those areas. That defeats the entire purpose. I know growing up in the house I lived in as a child, we had floor vents, which I'll tell you a quick fun story, was great during the air conditioning would come up. I used to have a Yorkshire Terrier that I got when I was, I think, 19, and it was, I love that dog so much. And she was so funny. She would sit on those vents when she was there, and when she was hot, she would put her little head over the vent when the air was coming up, and her little eyes just go, if she was warm and her hair was just floating. She loved those vents so much. But getting back to the point, if you've got a radiator or you've got this floor vents, make sure they have a clear line where they can push that air into your house so it circulates well. Number 20, if it's this time of the year and you're really having a hard time making ends meet, you want to get a jump start maybe on helping pay off that debt faster or saving up for something that you're going to purchase. Maybe it's a new car, maybe it's a down payment on a house. Then this might be a great time to pick up a seasonal side job. There are so many people that are hiring right now, and there are so many people that do seasonal work just as extra income. If you've ever done or do seasonal work, let us know what you've done, what you've thought about it down in the comments below. But this can be a little bit of time where you can put in a little bit more effort and see an expansive amount of extra cash that you didn't have previously that you can put towards whatever goal it is that you have. Let me know what are some of your favorite fall, winter themed ways to save that you find that are really helpful that might help other viewers like you. Leave them down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe. I look forward to seeing you next week for a new video.